Our next question is from the Honorable Pauline Medrano. She's a city council member from Dallas, Texas.
Bienvenido, Señor Obama. Latinos care deeply about protecting our country. They're proud of their sons and their daughters in the military who are defending this great country. However, they fear that ineffective military spending is preventing us from meeting such vital needs as education, health care, or repairing our nation's infrastructure. As one Latino voter said, quote, "We've got bridges falling apart throughout our country, but we are building brand new bridges in Iraq," end of quote. Senator, how will you, as President, ensure that we can both adequately protect our national security and address our domestic challenges?
It's a great question. Step number one, we have to bring the war in Iraq to a respectable, responsible, and honorable end. And that is going to be one of my top priorities as President of the United States of America. And as I said earlier, nobody has borne the brunt of service and casualties more than the Latino community. And our troops have done a magnificent job. They've done everything that's been asked of them. But this war was ill-conceived from the start. We are now there, and so we have to get out in a responsible way, but it is very important for us to say to the Iraqis, you have to stand up and protect your own country. We will provide you help, but we are not going to have an occupation of 10 years or 20 years or 100 years. We can't afford it, and our military families and our military itself is being strained to the breaking point. Then, some of those resources are going to have to be devoted to Iraq, to Afghanistan, because Afghanistan has actually been worsening its situation over the last several years, and we've got to bolster our troops and our efforts there. And even if we do that, and we also start paying for the rebuilding of our military, both in terms of troop strength and equipment that's going to be required, there's still going to be money left over for us to invest in our infrastructure. And so I've proposed a $60 billion infrastructure reinvestment bank that would work with local officials all across the country to identify critical projects that have to be done. Our infrastructure ranks, the American Association of Engineers gave our infrastructure a grade of D. Roads, bridges, waterways, the locks and dams and levees that we've been seeing strained to the breaking point in places like Iowa and along the Mississippi. We've got to rebuild those. The thing is, if we rebuild them using some of the resources that are currently going to Iraq, we're spending $10 to $12 billion there. If we rebuild infrastructure here, not only does it put people back to work right now, not only does it stimulate our economy right now, but it makes us competitive in the long term. One last point I want to make, though, and that is we have to treat our veterans better. You know, when I go down to when I go down to South Texas and find out that veterans are having to drive 2-3 hours just to get into a VA facility because there's no VA hospital down along the border areas. When you go down to Puerto Rico and find out that veterans there are not getting the same services as veterans in the 50 states, then we're betraying what I think is a solemn pact that we make with our veterans. My father served in World War II, and when he came home, he got the services that he needed. And that includes, by the way, post-traumatic stress disorder. So many young people are coming back with mental health issues, and because we don't deal with them as effectively and as swiftly as we should, that's why we've got homeless populations among veterans that are astronomically higher than the regular population, and that's something that we cannot accept, and I'm going to need your help to make sure that we fight to make sure every veteran gets the services that they need.
Thank you, Senator.